Welcome to the July edition of Corps Connection. Your U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is continuing to tackle some of the nation's toughest engineering challenges. In this month's episode, the Chief of Engineers traveled to Europe and talked with soldiers who participated in Exercise SABER-GUARDIAN. We also traveled to Guam, where USACE employees are assisting in recovery efforts on the island after Typhoon Mawar struck in late May. Back stateside, the Galveston District is working with local citizens on an environmental impact statement for the Matagorda Ship Channel. And finally, communities along Delaware's coast saw their beaches renourished to help mitigate the risk of coastal storms. Those stories coming up on Corps Connection. In the aftermath of powerful Typhoon Mawar, the citizens of Guam are working to put their lives back together. Helping them do so is a team of responders from multiple agencies, including your U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The Honolulu District Commander talks about USACE's role in those recovery efforts.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Peavy. I'm the commander of the Honolulu District and also just a proud teammate here in Guam. The mission has been to help the people of Guam and the government of Guam. Specifically, it's been temporary emergency power, and critical infrastructure, temporary roofing, and also debris removal with tech assistance. We've installed 81 generators. We're putting roofs on houses for people that need it to get them out of shelter and out of the elements, and we're helping with the debris mission in order to clean up Guam. For the priority is helping the people of Guam. There's nothing more paramount from those three missions in order to help out. It's been an absolute honor and privilege to be a part of this team. The professionalism of the USACE, the PRTs, everyone a part of the cadre, everyone a part of the team. It has been an absolute honor and privilege to work this mission and work it with them.
Defender Europe is a multinational joint exercise which builds readiness and interoperability between the U.S. and its NATO allies and partners. The Chief of Engineers caught up with the commanders of the 36th Engineer Brigade and 4th Engineer Battalion to talk about the experience their soldiers gained during this large-scale event.
Hi team, Lieutenant General Scott Spellman here, 55th Chief of Engineers. We're coming to you today from southeast Romania. We're out conducting Exercise SABER-GUARDIAN, and we're on the Danube River. I'm with the great commander for the 36th Engineer Brigade, Colonel Anthony Barbina, and the commander for the 4th Engineer Battalion, Colonel Jason Myers. Anthony, I'm going to go to you first. How special is it? Here we're on the 79th anniversary of D-Day. We're out here training on the Danube where engineers have been wrestling these waters for centuries. Anything you can share about the value of this exercise for your brigade?
Sir, first off, it's pretty awesome to be on the Danube at the anniversary of Normandy. The Danube River, you study that all the time. And I didn't realize how big it was until we come here for Defender Europe SABER-GUARDIAN, and our river crossing company is getting across a 630-meter gap. We're out on the Danube right now, and they crushed it. Yeah. They've been training multi-role bridging capacity. They've been training their floats. They've been training working slip sites. They've been training with the French, the Romanians, the Bulgarians, and everybody else that's out here. I'm just proud to see, sir, what the rugged soldiers have been doing. It's been awesome.
And in addition to all the work that we're doing with our international partners, multi-compo training as well with the Alabama National Guard that's been out here with us as well.
Yes, sir. Alabama National Guard, that's their state partnership program. Right. So they come out here all the time. They've been training with us, helping with roads and other things. And we'll do Resolute Castle with them as well.
That's right.
Next year. So this is a great opportunity for multi-compo and multinational trainings.
Anthony, I just want to say thanks at the end of an incredible command tour. It's been great serving with you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Jason, let me go to you next. You've been out here for several weeks with the 4th Engineer Battalion. Can you just talk a little bit about the exercise in general and some of the training objectives that you've been able to achieve as part of SABER-GUARDIAN?
Absolutely, sir. So we just finished the wet gap crossing. That was our primary training objective, to bring the 50-boat MRC here to do that. But then one of my other training objectives was to use my combat engineer company and have them do some integrated training with our partner forces. And that's exactly what we've been able to do for the last month.
Right, Jason, I just want to say thanks to you and your team. I think you're just taking back some great training opportunities that we certainly want to share with the rest of the regiment. And it is a great time to serve in the regiment. So Jason, I just want to say thanks for all you do each and every day. And again, Anthony, thanks for all that you've done for our regiment. Yes, building strong.
Oh. As the Army Corps of Engineers works through a project, local citizen input and stakeholder engagement is vitally important through each step of the process. Recently, the Galveston District held a public meeting to get input on an environmental impact statement they are working on for a potential project in the Matagorda Ship Channel.
I'm Colonel Rhett Blackman. I'm the commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Galveston District. So today we're in Matagorda County, and we had a public engagement tonight to talk to folks and concerned citizens in the Matagorda area about the Matagorda Ship Channel project. So the purpose of this meeting in particular was to advise them and inform them that we're going to do a supplemental environmental impact statement on the project, and we wanted to make sure they had an overview of the project and that they knew where they could submit comments. So it's important to get input from the community for multiple reasons. First, the more point of views that we can consider in the project, the better the project can be. Secondly, we can make sure that everyone's interests are incorporated in the plan as best as possible. And then lastly, there are folks who have ideas and concerns and knowledge about the area that we should consider when we're assessing the project certainly on the environmental merits of the project, and then how the project will impact communities.
My name's Raymond Butler. I grew up here in Calhoun County, Point Comfort. This is my first public meeting, but this happens to be in my hometown, and I'm very passionate about seeing this project come here. I'm also, myself and two other friends, formed the Lavaca Bay Foundation. Their mission is to look out for Lavaca Bay. And I feel like Lavaca Bay Foundation, with our experience and local knowledge that the Corps can benefit from, and from my conversations this evening, they seem to be very willing to listen.
I think it was a very good meeting. I think that folks understood the work that we have done. I think we were able to communicate the work that we will do. And so for that reason, it was successful. In addition, it's just a good opportunity for us and a good practice for us to communicate with folks so that they know that we're being transparent, and we're going to do our work above board in a transparent way and in a way that they can understand, and that their inputs are valued in the work that we do.
With partial funding provided by the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, the Philadelphia District was able to provide coastal risk reduction to 5 coastal communities through 3 separate projects in Delaware, ensuring these commerce centers for the state would continue to be economic drivers for years to come.
Along the Delaware coast, beachgoers are encountering ships, pipes, and heavy equipment.
So along the Delaware coast, we are dredging and doing beach fill operations in 5 communities. Altogether, we're pumping about 1.3 million cubic yards of sand between the 5 communities, and it's all designed to maintain the dune and the berm system here and really reduce the risk of storm damages to infrastructure.
The effort, involving 3 project areas to reduce the risk to 5 communities, came under a single contract, which provided enhanced risk reduction at a reduced cost.
This year happened that we got funding partially through the bill, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and our regular program to fund all the Delaware Atlantic Coast projects. So we're able to put them under one contract and save on our mobilization and demob costs.
For the 3 areas receiving sand, including the beachfront in the city of Rehoboth Beach, the project provides much needed risk reduction to a multi-billion-dollar economic driver for the communities and state.
They ended up putting over 300,000 cubic yards of sand back on our beach. Tremendous effort, tremendous. That's our lifeblood. Where else can you go and have this beach with the amenities that are here? Really nowhere. So without that beach, we wouldn't have Rehoboth.
Before the first grain of sand is pumped up to the shoreline, though, a team of experts working at the Philadelphia District performed the necessary pre-work to determine where to place and how much sand is needed.
We've got coastal engineers who their life is working beach fill projects and the science behind it, the hydraulics and hydrology, the geotech. We've got to look at sandbar areas out in the Atlantic coast and looking at where we're going to put sand. We have hot spots. Hot spots are where the beach is eroding more than other places.
Throughout the process, the team works with local communities and non-federal sponsors to develop the best plan on how to deliver the project with the least amount of impact on the daily lives of local citizens and visitors.
The community understands the importance of having that dune and the berm system in place. When work creeps into the summer season, it can be inconvenient, but we try to minimize that impact to the best of our ability by closing small sections of the beach at a time. And we're working through this. We're hoping to be finished here in the early July timeframe.
It's been great. The guys from Philly District have been down here the whole time, managing the contract, keeping us well informed of what's going on. A lot of coordination had to happen because obviously we still wanted to use the beach while they were working on it. So we had to move people around and that kind of thing. The contractor was great. Corps managed that for us. And now we're just finishing up with some of the dune crossings to get the fencing put back up and those kind of things.
With the work wrapping up for all 3 projects, these Delaware communities can breathe a little easier when coastal storms come near.
Yeah, when we talk about reducing risk along our coastline, we're talking about infrastructure. And here along the Delaware coast, that includes homes, businesses, boardwalks, roads, even utility lines. And all of that is vulnerable to damage from storm events, nor'easters, hurricanes, and other events. And so having the dune in place is a crucial part of really managing that risk along the coastline.
From Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, Patrick Bloodgood.
That completes this episode of Corps Connection. We'll be back again next month to cover what your U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is working on. Until then, have a safe and fun-filled summer.